Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Tonight. My name is Ilyasa Simpson. I am the CEO of the Charge Room, and I am here tonight with a special night of every Thursday at 7 p.m. This is the platform to ask, where is my king? Yes, it is hashtag the men's locker room. So, hey, welcome tonight. And this is where the men are having their say, right? So they're having their say tonight, and the subject at hand is all about the men. So whatever topic they come up with that they want to talk about, we bless the line, and we welcome all comments or questions to the platform. So please do not hesitate to comment in the section so I can see you. I am streaming from StreamYard, and you have to get permission. So just click for the permission so I can see your comments from where I am. But at the same time, I'm still going to have my phone on my page so I can see some of the comments coming in. So, because I don't want to miss you guys. But also, I will ask of everyone to please support us. So, here at the Charge Room, we offer two platforms, one for women and one for men. The women is on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We stream off of three platforms: my personal page, Ilyasa Simpson, the Charge Room Facebook page. We ask that you like both pages. We stream also from YouTube at the same time. So we streaming on three platforms at the same time. So with the YouTube channel is the Charge Room Inc. And I'm asking if you can subscribe. And every time we are on, you will be on. You will never miss a show again. So please, again, like us. Also follow us on Instagram, the Charge, and subscribe to the YouTube page. It will be greatly appreciated. We have been launching from both platforms since August. And when I tell you, we have accumulated such an awesome following, and I appreciate your topics that you send in. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate all the love that people are just hopping on board just to, to be a part to support us. Because again, the Charge Room is all about having a platform and a safe space to help people heal and heal together. It's all about building relationships with yourself and other individuals that you absolutely love. And not only that, it's teaching us all about forgiveness, learning to love ourselves, learning to love ourselves better, learning to be better individuals, and learning how to love others because we are healing. So, again, men and women, sometimes we say men are from Mars and women are from Jupiter, or however how the saying goes. But at the end of the day, it's all about having love in each of our hearts and loving on each other in a special way. So tonight we are talking about the men, and the men are saying, is it okay to cry, right? Sometimes men are bred, not even sometimes, most of the time, men are bred to say, men don't cry, put your armor on, get your stronghold on. And it's a tough love, right? It's a tough love out there. So there's a lot of men that wear this overcoat to say, oh, masculine. And if you don't have your masculine coat on and you crying, you a punk, or you weak, or you're sorry, or you're not nothing. Whoever did that to you, I'm apologizing to you for them, because that's not a way to treat anyone. That tough love for certain things is just inappropriate. It is okay to cry because we all go through something. because we're all human, and humans go through emotions. And when you're presented in that way, that is not okay to cry, what happens is we hold ourselves accountable to say, well, we must wear that armor. And then that's a generational order that's built down. And you pass that thing down to every male child that is behind you. And what you're doing is you're putting up fake emotions, fake regards to say, and standards. That's not right. What happens, you are breaking down someone's insides mentally, because emotionally they are not being allowed to feel. They're not being allowed to be in touch with their real emotions, because they're running for it, even though they're feeling it, because you were told it is you punk if you crying, and you may get beat crying. So that takes you to a place where you're mentally disengaged with what you're supposed to really feel. And what you're feeling is real, and it's okay. So tonight we're going to talk about, is it okay for men to cry? We're going to hear from the kings tonight. They're going to give their perspective on, is it okay for men to cry? And then we're going to talk about that thing. And we're going to sum it up. We're going to give our suggestions to the audience watching. So again, don't be afraid to put a comment. Please, we welcome all comments. And let us know what you think. And we're going to sit and talk about it. So right now we have two kings, and two kings are on their way. So we're bringing to the platform King Herman. We're bringing to the platform King Father Wise. Welcome, gentlemen, tonight. How are you?
Peace.
What's up, Father Wise?
Yo, it's your world, man. I'm just trying to get through, man. I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. You already know.
I hear you. You talk about crying. I was about to start singing that song by the OJs.
I ain't crying nothing. Y'all can forget all that. I don't give a damn crying about what. I wish I would.
You know, last night me and my woman, we cried.
Yo, my father told me real men don't cry. Real men don't shed no tear. You better stand up and tie your boots and stick your chest out. And then I went in the closet and cried. Because I ain't trying to hear
There it is.
Crazy. Let me tell you something.
You gotta graduate first to cry.
Right. Oh boy, here come Barry. Hi, Barry. How y'all doing? Hey, Barry. Peace, Almighty. He not answering. Whatever.
Okay, so gentlemen.
How y'all doing
this evening? Gentlemen, tonight, right now, we're talking about, is it okay to cry? I have my opening greeting to you all and everybody in the audience. So, let's talk about it. Let's hear your perspectives, and let's bring it all together for everybody. What does it look like? What did it look like for you all growing up, and you were presented with that situation? Like if you went through a situation or occurrence, and it was emotional for you, and whoever was in your authority, whoever was your provider at that time, whether it be a parent or a relative or a friend, what was the response? Whenever you were faced with any adversity, what was your response to is it okay for men to cry? So who wants to go first? Because I'm disappearing.
Okay, you can let the old guy go first. Old guy always go first. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, old man.
I'm getting more gray hair each time. No, but when we talk about crying, I'll use me as an example. I didn't cry a lot. Only time I really cried was when, my mom's had to beat me or my pops, catch me with a two-piece real quick. And then, it's like I cry for a quick, like 4 seconds, then suck it up, and then look about how to get better. But as you go on, especially growing up, to me, crying when your boys was around, you didn't want to do that because you did that, you opened yourself up to getting teased. And it wouldn't just stop with right then and there that year. It will constantly come back. Like, yo, you remember that time so cry? And especially if it's not like something that was heart-wrenching, as society would say it. So like we can see you crying at a funeral, your mom's died, your aunt died, or somebody personally was in a car accident and they didn't make it. So yeah, I'll cry, I'll shed a few tears. And then as you get older, there's some things that really do hurt, and you wind up crying. What I would say is like, you take a moment, you step to the side, and it's just you. And and you cry, you let it out. Because sometimes with crying, it's a release. And a lot of times what I would cry is right before I got mad and I'm ready to beat you up. So come back swinging. But then there's other times, like I said, I cried. Just just funerals. And recently, last year, when a young man that I used to coach, when he got shot in the projects, and that one hurt. And but as you get older, it seems to be a little bit more embraced. Not totally, but a little bit more embraced. And if you see a man crying, you want to come by, cheer him up. Like, yo, it's gonna be all right. And just be there with him. And that's just how the issue of crying really has come about from the masculine dealings to the now society. A lot of men are in touch with their feminine side, and you got a battle going on because the new age man may be quick to cry in a heartbeat, where the old age man be like, you know what, it's gonna take a lot to make me cry. Now I'll pass it back on.
Oh, yeah, Hercules. I was making jokes before, but you know me, real talk. Crying is something that, how can I put this, right? I grew up in the era. I really grew up in the era where I ain't doing too much crying, right? The only time I've ever really cried is mom's funerals in general. I've been bullied in school and high school and all that other stuff. Even then, I never cried. Right? I probably cried on the inside. I was more hurt than anything. But crying is something like really, I don't know where the disconnect came from, the loss of human emotions or and all that, if you want to say that, because like you get disconnected after a while, man. When you don't really have too much feelings, or should I say, when you don't really have empathy and sympathy, and or you had too much and you got hurt all the time, so now you just became numb to it all, right? I want to sit up here and say, like, I remember one time I came home, I was crying, and my dad said to me, he goes, "What's wrong?" He didn't say, "Real men don't cry. What you can wipe your face? Men don't cry." He said, "What's wrong?" And I told him what's wrong, and he said, "All right, so what are you gonna do different?" He goes, "What are you gonna do different?" And from there on, it was never really no more for me. Never really no more crying, man. That's when I got jumped. I got jumped after school. by some people. I ain't gonna mention no names, but I got and that was the only time I think I ever really cried, and it wasn't like physical because they didn't really hurt me. It was more of an inside cry, like I'm like, damn. It wasn't no real physical because I was always I could always take a beat. That's nothing. Like I grew up in the house, like, but crying is it all right for men to cry? You know, I'm like, if we're human, so it is all right. You get cheated on and it hurts your heart, you cry. Relatives, family members from somebody died, you cry. Yo, I remember one time just sitting in here crying, wasn't nothing really going on, but I was just crying any damn way because I know what I was crying because I was watching some show on TV, and I can completely relate to what was going on the show, and I just had a breakdown right here. I'm glad nobody wasn't here to see it, but even if they was, I wouldn't have gave a damn. Like it doesn't matter to me. I always say crying is it's man. I'm not gonna say manly, but women respect if a man shows their true feelings, being quiet, being warm. You know what I'm saying? Being strong. You know, women don't mind a man showing their emotions. But if you just gonna be crying just to be crying, like it'd be a Mitch, you can't. That's a no go. If you a cry baby, let's say it that way. It's all right for men to cry. Just don't be a cry baby. Nobody likes a cry baby. You know, I could go on with this because it's the topic, man. Crying is nothing wrong with crying. It's a human response. It's a human response to feelings, good, bad, or indifferent. It's a human response to life. You know, they always say nothing grows without water. You're crying when it's raining outside, or somebody say, oh, when it's raining, God is crying. When it's thundering, he's mad. When it's snowing, he's combing out his dandruff. Some crap they used to say. It used to be funny to me. But yeah, crying is just a natural response to life. It's simple. That's it. That's my perspective.
King K, you on?
Hello,
Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, I have a real difficult. Keeps booting me off saying something about internet and stuff right now. So I'm not sure if y'all can hear me well. I know you can't see me. I'm rolling in the dark.
But
And
we can hear you very well. So you could speak,
okay,
sir, whenever you feel like it.
okay. So we're talking about topic number 6 on the board about is crying a sign of weakness for a man? Well, first of all, peace and blessings, everybody. How's everybody doing? Peace to my comrades, my king brothers, and my queen sister. Blessings, and to
Blessings
everybody
to
that's
you.
listening. Um, no, it's not a sign of weakness. It's just an act of nature that befalls each and one of us. Um, to cry, I've never been one to just cry off the cuff, like just cry for nothing. You know, I mean, most of the time that I've actually ever cried in my life was due to the fact of either getting beat for doing something wrong, getting caught for doing something wrong, and I know what the consequences would be, or if there was death in my family, uh, or even to the point of somebody being hospitalized. And it's so ironic for me to even have this discussion right now because, truthfully, I'm at that stage right now. I got one of my brothers is in the hospital right now fighting the cancer, and he's got a great spirit. You know, every time you talk to him, he said, "Ain't nothing wrong. Everything's good. He's going to win this. He's going." And my heart reaches out to that because it's not sadness. It's just that I feel when I shed a tear because I know how strong he is, and for him to keep battling it, going through what he's going through, I can't do nothing but salute that. And in my heart, it's uh for him, and that's just the love that I have. And on the other hand, I got another brother who was affected by the COVID, and his mind right now is not as 100% as it used to be. So he's going in and out, and that's even kind of hard for the whole family to see him change like this from what we've known him to be all our lives. It's just like a complete 180. So I'm man enough and heartfelt enough to share this with y'all because it's a hurtful thing to go through, you know, when you're seeing two people or any loved one that you love so much, uh, just battling these things. So yeah, and me being the man that I am, I ain't ashamed if I'm shedding a tear because that's only giving showing that, you know, my love is sincere and my strength of it will allow me to release what I'm feeling by way of tears in order to focus and keep moving because it's never about me. It's never been about just me. It's always been about the love I have for my family. So I can't sit back and just, you know, allow no nonsense, no type of emotion to fall through when I'm going through such and such a thing right now that, you know, is deep. But I think that we all, as men, we all share ourselves at one point in time of our hurt, and we just share it in different ways in life, you know. So nah, it's never a sign of weakness. People may think that or take it like that, but I'll never view it as a sign of weakness.
Did anyone in your family as a child tell you that it's not okay for men to cry?
I mean, yeah, I've had family members, not so my immediate brothers, or sometimes they would say, you know, man up, you know, a man ain't supposed to cry concept, but within the next few days or hours or something happens to him, I see tears. So, you know, it's like how you would tell me one thing when them tears are rolling out your eyes, you know. But for the foremost, I mean, I think that my life changed the first time because I didn't think my father could ever cry. I've never seen my father cry. The first time in my life when I saw my father shed tears is when his brother Billy passed away, and we went to the funeral. I think I was like maybe in my teens or younger, you know. And the first time I saw him cry, I was like, wow. You know, I've never seen my dad cry. I was like, yo, my old man must be made out of stone or something. Because to see that man shed a tear was like finding a needle in a haystack, you know. And I remember asking my mom, I was like, Mom, Daddy's crying. She said, it's okay, baby. He's crying because he lost someone he loved. You know, I'm like, but he ain't supposed to cry. You know, I had that little mentality. He ain't supposed to cry. He the big man. She said, it's a big man that can shed tears from when he has love. That makes you a man all the way down. And I was like, oh, okay. So that concept stuck with me all my life. You know, it's okay to cry when you feel like that. I mean, you know, I cry when we laugh sometimes. If we, you know, a good joke what to make me laugh, and I cry about it, you know, cry laughing. That's power right there. Does that mean that's a good spirit laugh? It's not nothing that's making me sorrowful or anything. That's energy exposing itself at its highest peak. So I'm good with it.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to bring everybody back onto the screen. So as I'm listening to everyone to, ask the question of, you know, is it a sign of weakness for a man to cry? Like, is it okay for a man to cry? And each of you had similar situations, similar, well, So, Herman, you opened up with, no, first I want to go back to say it appears that as all of you were younger and you were growing up as a child, there was someone that it may not have been a parent, but someone that was your elder presented you with the stipulation that men don't cry. And they made it a tough love. Men don't cry. But as you walk through life and you realize from a child, from your childhood, as you grew into mature men, that along the way there were occurrences that happened in your life that presented you with emotions, and the emotions allowed you to shed some tears, and you realized there was a thought in your head to say, well, Dad, is it okay to cry or is it not okay to cry? But it's very clear to me of what I'm hearing is that it didn't matter who told you what, you were going to let out your emotions. So like I said, Herman, you started with, you were getting teased to, you better not cry. And, you cried as a release of anger. So as you grew up, you started to embrace that emotion. And then father-wise, you didn't cry at all, only when it came down to like a funeral, because when you said you were bullied, that brought emotions to you where you became, things happened to you in your childhood, in your teen age years, and then your young adulthood, that you went through situations that made you numb to emotions where you didn't have any sympathy or empathy, right? So it wasn't until when your father came to you when he saw you in distress and he said, okay, son, this is your situation, I'm hearing you, so what you gonna do about it? So that's when you came to your conclusion, like, okay, well, I'm human. And it's okay to cry because I'm feeling this here. At that particular moment, you started to become present in your feelings. And then we have KYs who presented that it was okay to cry no matter what, even though he, somebody in his family told him it wasn't okay to cry. But he then saw that, okay, well, you told me I couldn't cry, but now you're crying. So, but you were immediately instructed and educated that, you know what, it's really okay to cry, because when you're crying, it's demonstrated as a sign of love, affection, and strength. So it's the way life presents you, the way life bless you, the way life presents to you in ways that you can have a conflict and mixed emotions, and you don't know which way to go, and that's how. So as that happens, we can take that same education that we are taught and pass it on to others, but then it becomes misinterpreted and just incorrect information given. So, but I just want to stop right this second, because one, I want to take time out to give my love and prayers to you, KYs, to you and your family for
Okay.
what is going on in your family, because I know that is extremely hard, and especially getting up every day wrestling with those emotions. So I want to give my love and heart out to you, along with many prayers and blessings to your brothers, because both of them are definitely going through something. And secondly, I just want to add Dr. Jesse on here.
Hey,
To let him
Dr.
know.
Jesse.
how you doing? Hey, how we doing?
Wagwan King.
What we
Wagwan.
doing? Not going on, man. Not
Yes.
going on.
Yes,
We
that's
just
good.
crying on the river. That's all.
Yeah. What is happening? How is everyone?
Yeah.
Good
Good,
evening,
good.
Queen.
We are
How are
well,
you?
sir. I am
Oh.
well, sir. And so,
Been a long week.
so we are. Yes, I can imagine,
over.
and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you made it, sir, because we appreciate you as always. Your presence is definitely welcome. So tonight we're talking about, is it a sign of weakness, you know, in a man if he cries? So what's your perspective, sir?
We find that there are many different reasons for weeping, believe it or not. Weeping can be cleansing. It can be a response to release stress. It can be in response to some kind of negative influence to get ourselves refocused. There's a lot of different reasons why we can find ourselves weeping. Sorrow is the most obvious, but there are other reasons. Somebody can make you so angry that you start tearing up. So there are those things. Sometimes folks weep for others. We find in John 11:33, most famous 2 words in the Bible, Jesus wept. Why? Because of Israel. Israel wouldn't come back to the fold. They would not follow the Father. So that's what he wept for. So we find that. And I don't consider him to be weak. I don't consider any of my brothers to be weak. If I see you weeping, I'm trying to figure out how I can assist. Something's wrong. See, when we were kids, we were taught one thing. Because remember, now, K-Wise and definitely Father Wise and myself, we came up in that 70s, 80s era. You know, that was not cool back then. You ain't supposed to be crying, man. We started that out in the lots and stuff like that. You fall, you play ball, whatever the case is, you better not cry. But see, what happens with life is, like we've been talking about over the different times that we've come together. You grow, you mature, and you are the sum total of all of your life experiences. So you or me at this age is infinitely different than I was back then. All of the things I've been through, all the friends that I've lost, all the family members that I've lost, all of those things affect us and how we see weeping. So I don't see it as just to sum this up real quick, so I get back to the Queen, I don't see it as weakness. I actually see it as strength, because it takes a lot of courage to allow those tears to flow in front of folks. That's not easy. Think about that for a minute. That's not easy. Okay.
Thank you so much for your perspective. But like I was saying, it as you mature, because everyone has to go through their own road of elevation. So as you mature, because we as children, we watch, we don't know, we just watch. And as we watch and as we elevate to higher ages, as we grow, we see things, and then we start experiencing things, and then we put the two together, and then we develop our own idealistic way of thinking, right? So as we're coming into our own mindset, and we are seeing, we don't quite agree with what somebody else told us when we were younger, right? So we're growing and maturing, and as we mature and go through our life journeys, there's situations we go through, We develop our own trials and tribulations and how we handle it and how we show up and how we unpack our feelings and emotions, right? So I'm listening to every single last one of y'all, and it sounds like to me that everyone had a similar journey. And I am so proud always to hear the perspective of you kings, because the journey that you have overcome, I'm gonna say overcome to victory, placed you in a place where you now can stand and speak honestly and freely of your emotions and share them. Because just like you said, it takes courage. It takes courage to express your emotions. It takes courage to weep. It takes courage to speak. It takes courage to deliver your own mindset and to be individual with it, because there's so many times people want you to be like them. They don't want you to have your own identity. They want you to flow with the crowd. Let's do this together, and you may not agree. So it's so important that it's okay that you sit and eat at the table alone, because you want to be different. You want to be unique. You want to walk in your own spirit, and you want to have your own feelings and have nobody else tell you that you can't when you can.
Right. That's right.
I just think it's beautiful that I'm running across gentlemen such as yourself that can, greatly express themselves. But then I always speak of, these are our particular perspectives, right? What do you tell someone that does not think as you think? What do you tell when you, because some of the younger generations behind us, they may still have the mindset of what somebody else taught them. It's not okay to cry. And then they're beating their children. They're beating them to say it's not okay to cry. Like I said, that's an oil that's passed on from generation to generation, right? So what could you tell the younger generations behind us? What suggestions that you can give them to allow them to understand that pouring that oil is not necessarily so? So could y'all give some benefits of how you can share your knowledge? What would you?
I think we can pass this off to Herman.
Well, that was saying the
I knew it
older.
was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I think we need to do it. I think we need to.
Let it go ahead, Aaron. Aaron, go ahead, Aaron. Speak, Aaron.
Let me lead my people. All right, here we go.
Come on, King Herman.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to what and Father Wise has said it when he said, he came in crying, and then his father, as the wise one, was like, "Yo, okay, you got it out of you. What you gonna do next?" I think it's one thing to cry, get that release going, but let's not stay in that pity party. As a man, we hit things, they hit us, and then it's always our strength when we get back up and we rise over them. And that's where the victory comes, that rising up. Yo, this happened to me. Yo, I cried about it. I released it. All right, now I'm ready. What's my next level? So whereas if you just crying and you gonna stay there, and then you want somebody, come cry with me, come cry with me, come cry with me. And then after a while, they're like this. Nah, man, you've been crying for like 5 days now. I don't know. So what are you gonna do next? That's one thing that I do, share with even my students, the ones that do cry, because they have a lot of emotion and they're dealing with stuff that even some of us have dealt with at their age, and that's crazy. But this is the society that we're in right now, and it's up to us as the older ones that gotten through. go back like, yo, here's a blueprint. It's up to you if you want to follow it. And then step back and take the hands off, but you're still there.
Right. I'm with that.
Awesome. King Father Wise.
Oh, wasn't it? The order is like Aaron, then Moses, the bush, then the God. Ain't that how? Where's Moses at? Like I'm the burning bush. I'm like the bush. All right. Yo, so
Solomon last week?
I was Solomon, right? I was Solomon. Come on, Moses. There's Moses right there. Go ahead, Moses.
Come on, let my people go. Come on.
That's Pharaoh. That's me. I'm Pharaoh. All right, yo.
All right, Pharaoh, I'm with you. Bring it. Shoot, bring it.
Yo, this is, I had a lot of people in my kingdom crying because I wouldn't let them go, right? And at the end of the 10 plagues that came through, it was 10 plagues that came through. I was crying because I didn't let it go, right? So
that's right.
Right? So I lost my firstborn. I lost my first everything, right? So yeah, I was crying, right? So all right. So now I'm gonna just say real talk, right? Yo, check this out for all the young cats, the young gods, young kings, young queens, young earths. Yo, check this out. Yo, it's all right to cry. It's all right to show some human emotion. It's all right to have empathy and sympathy. It's all right to have any kind of thee, right? Because you like any time of thee, empathy, sympathy, empathy, Timothy, all that. It's all right to have all that, right? Because without it, there is no growth, right? Because I noticed for me, real talk, I noticed for me, all them years that I did not cry only stunted my growth.
Yes.
I was stuck right there. In the midst of OG gangsterism, I ain't never crying. The ultimate street warrior. Yo, like nobody never seen me cry. Ever. And what did it do for me? Not a, can I say it? Not a damn thing. I got a text, watch my language, so I just had to ask. So I'm just, so nothing. So if you gotta cry, go ahead and cry. You're human. Human beings cry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There it is.
You, sir. I got two things.
KY?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. I ain't heard from that brother. Why you in the dark, man?
There you go. Shine a light on him. Hey,
shine a light on him.
Hey,
the greatest minds always.
There we go. Come on, Barry. Come on.
All right. Claire, your father, I'm gonna tell you something. You touched on some things, so I'm gonna speak for it mathematically within myself. As gods, we know we have 7 characteristics, 5 senses of life. You know what I'm saying? To give advice to the young ones, the best advice is it's okay to ask. It's okay to get an understanding of what you may not know. It's all right to seek, because if you feel in a certain way, don't allow the negative portion to overcome your mind so you'll be walking in a negative light. Seek the light of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that's in the path of righteousness that can give you good guidance. Not tell you what to do, but give you good guidance so you can make your own mind up in a positive instead of a negative connotation. I think that the best example is your own example. So if a person sees you crying, like our seeds, if our seeds, they see us crying, the first thing they ask, Daddy, why you crying? Mommy, why you crying? And the best thing to do is tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. I'm crying because I'm in a happy place right now that's bringing tears of joy, or I'm crying because I'm sad because I lost a loved one. So they have a better understanding about what happens because they are like sponges. They only gonna see what's before them before having an understanding about it. So it's up to us, as it says, teach the babies, for the babies are the greatest. So we have to be the dynamic teachers of knowing right or wrong to give them the hope and give them the light of understanding. So they be like, okay, I know now, because when something happens to me, I can revert back to a time when my mom or my dad gave me the knowledge and wisdom of this talking that I can pass along to my children, because everything that happens to us or that happened before us happened to our parents, and we watch them. So the cycle will continue whenever it comes to a flow of emotions, feelings, of everything that we know. So it's no different. Like I said, there's nothing new under the sun, but you just got to be the great sun. And the moon, the woman got to be the greatest moon, the reflector of the sun from the knowledge we give to them. And in tune, they teach the babies. And we all teach. And that's how we all, each one teach one. So it's okay. It's okay for the young ones. I would say, if you see me crying, you can ask me, why am I crying, Brother K? Why are you crying? I'm going to tell you why. Point blank. Because if I'm in a situation and I might need help, and they won't understand why I'm crying, because why? I'm not giving them the information as to why I'm doing or feeling the way that I feel. It's like, well, man, he just crying to be crying. No, I don't want you to think I'm crying to be crying, because I want you to know the real truth and in-depthness that's in my heart or what's going on in my mindset.
Don't be a crybaby.
You know what I'm saying? So, some people cry in private. Some people, it just may hit them at wherever you can be on your job and all of a sudden something hits you and tears start rolling down your eyes, because that's just what it is right now. You can't stop that. It is a human effect. You see what I'm saying? Everything that happens within us is also happening in the hemisphere, in the atmosphere. It's the same effect. So my advice, like I said, is to be the best example and the best teacher and explainer that we can be when it comes to speaking to the youth. Because I could be speaking like a ball of fire right now, and tears could be coming down my eyes. It's not tears of sorrow, it's tears of joy, knowing that I'm reaching out to all the youth right now. Because if they respond back to say, Brother Wise, I feel you, I'm with you, I understand you, guess what? That's a tear of joy. That's a tear of joy, because that means that my words did not fall on deaf ears. You know what I mean? So I ended like that. Peace.
Peace.
He's black man.
Why you gotta be so
Christ.
Build, God, build. Build God. I saw it part. I was right there and I was just watching it part. I was just strolling on down the middle.
It's so good.
That's Jesse.
Jesus Christ, come on.
Nowhere near that.
Come on, baby.
Man.
Come on, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yo, K, that's Dean Almighty. Dean Almighty.
What am I going to do? Oh.
Pass the knowledge. Pass the knowledge.
Okay, seriously now. We on the clock. We on the clock.
Yeah, I know.
Two things. First thing is, sometimes the most powerful cry that you can have is for somebody else. It ain't even for you.
Yes.
So when my friend, Father Wise, called me, and we hadn't talked in years, eons, okay, and shared with me what had been going on in his life since always party. I cried. And the reason why I cried was because when he started telling me about crack and prison and all of these things, brother, and I'm here to tell you what I felt was sorrow because I wasn't there to help you when you needed somebody. Because you know how we were.
We still are.
And bro, I would have gave my right arm to be wherever you were so I could help get you out of whatever situation you was in. Because that's the amount of love that I have for you. I like to tell people, you know, my brother left when I was little, man, when I was young and stuff. But then I met this cat, and you know, that was like God giving my brother back to me. Because I had somebody I could relate to, I could talk to, and I could say, hey man, you know, this is what's going on. And he wouldn't judge me. He would tell me, you know, what's right. Hey, bro, that's not right. Don't do that. Oh yeah, bro, go ahead and do that. That's okay. You can do that. You know? And that's a rarity in this life. So I don't know who I've ever shared that with. I don't think I even shared that with him. I think he found that out on camera.
Yeah, well, don't
But
stop.
it was,
Make me cry right now.
I ain't trying to make you cry, man.
No, man.
I'm just telling you how I
crying
felt.
moment, man. I'm feeling one.
I'm just telling you how I felt, man.
I love you, bro.
That would have touched, bro.
I'm just telling you how I felt, man.
You know,
I was at work, man. I'm like in the break room at work, man, and I'm just got tears flowing down my face. You know, as I talk to my friend, you know, and he's telling me what's going on, I'm like, I just like, wow, man. You know,
it was rough.
we all like a few degrees away from these situations. You know, I could have been Father Wise. You know, similar upbringing, similar background, all of that. So you know, that stuff affect me. So if anything, we like KY was saying about teaching you, that's the most powerful thing that we can teach them, man. You know, we have to love one another like that. When you see somebody going through something, it should affect you like that. The second thing is let's think about since y'all was messing with me, let's talk about King David for a minute. King David had a baby out of wedlock with Bathsheba. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the baby got sick.
I wasn't there, but I heard about it. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, you heard about it. That's good enough. I was there. But the baby got sick. And he prayed, said, Lord, don't take the baby, don't take the baby, don't take the baby. But after, you know, several days, the baby died. And he had cried. He wallowed, he'd done everything he could do. You know what he did after that? He got up. He changed his clothes because he had been going through the Jewish ceremonial mourning thing and had rent his garments and everything. Washed his face, got him something to eat. And somebody asked him why. And he said, as long as the baby was living, there was a chance that God would turn away his wrath. But once the baby was done, that was God's final decision. When the decision's made. So now all I have to do is get up out of my pity. I've got to still be a king. I've got to do what I've got to do. And that's how we should look at this thing. When you're in sorrow, whatever it is, you can't wallow, like King Herman was saying, you can't stay down in that. You've got to come up, you got to rise up and be who you are. Sometimes the reason why we aren't successful in life, and you notice when young folks, when you talk to them, the reason why they are successful in life is because they play themselves out of position. They do stuff they ain't got no business doing. Or they allow themselves to be persuaded to do things they shouldn't do. Now, everybody has sorrow in their life. Everybody goes through things. But what we can't allow ourselves to do is remain there. You can't remain sorrowful. You got to come up out of that. Just like Father Wise was talking about just coming down through the center. That's how you got to be. You got to come up out of that. You can't stay there. I'm telling you. That's why you got all these things. There's 15,000 medicines for people with depression. Because people get down in that sorrow and they stay there. And a lot of times, I believe we give people medicines from doctors whose credentials we can't even verify and take them chemicals and wonder why we got all these different ailments. And a lot of it has to do with our mindset. Your mind is powerful. Your heart, and I'm not talking about the muscle that pumps blood, but the seat of your conviction is powerful. Think about that for a minute. Because when you get your mind set to something, can't nobody tell you nothing that's different.
Look out.
You're going to make that thing happen, ain't you? That's the seat of your conviction. So you can't let anything that comes into life, whatever sorrow it is, whatever sadness it is, you cry, you get it all out your system. You get yourself up, dust yourself off, take a shower, whatever you got to do, change clothes, whatever you got to do, and look straight forward and move towards that greatness that you're supposed to inherit. It's already yours. You just got to be in position to receive it.
I want to thank y'all because let me tell you, you hit my best subject, mindset. You said the key word for me, mindset. Mindset is everything. Everything. How you think brings on your emotion. Your emotions brings on your behavior. If you are taught something, that's how you think, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna do it. But there's something that all of y'all said. Don't sit there. It's okay to cry, but just don't sit there. Because at the end of the day, we gotta get up and keep going.
Got to.
Not just you know, again, because there's people behind us that's watching us. We can't sit in a pity party, and that's men as well as women. We can't afford to do that. We have to demonstrate leadership in our households, and as leaders, we have to teach leaders, which is our children. So as we're coming through and we're coming to a close, again, I want to thank every single last one of y'all because, like I continuously say, it takes courage to come here every week and express yourself. It takes courage to give your perspective, your viewpoint. It takes courage to want to share this information. And because you do it, not just do it, y'all do it with authority. I deeply appreciate your presence. I deeply appreciate you showing up. And I deeply appreciate you giving back. Because if we are not doing anything else, we are giving back. And we are allowing people to see and hear what different topics look like, what they sound like. And that's, to me, that's the best gift, is to give back. And I spoke about that last night. Is one of the top things is to keep your high energy is to give. So I thank you, gentlemen. And, you know, I'm gonna close out, and you know how we do. So I'll be back to get you.
Queen.
So
Queen.
yes. Where you at?
I have a special announcement to say, and this is pertaining.
Okay, wait. Let me bring everybody back on first. Hold on.
So it's gonna be.
Hold on. Let me bring everybody. I'm missing somebody. Hold on.
Father Wise, there he is. So there's gonna be a Blade 3, and you're gonna be the star. Gonna be a Blade 4.
What's going on,
Okay, I have to say this, and this is to everyone who is listening, because what you have brought to this platform since you started has been a true blessing to a lot of people in ways that you may know of and what you may not know of. So I am letting you know that your book, So You Think You Can Pray, your book is being shared by so many right now that I alone will go ahead and purchase maybe about 4 or 5 more of your books to give to a woman's book club so they can share your reading amongst the women there, because the word is spreading. So I want to congratulate you on your efforts, everything you have put in your heart, soul into your authentic. Yes, give it up to the queen, because your voice is being heard by being read.
That's
So
powerful.
it's touching
Yes.
a lot of people.
That's powerful.
She made her knowledge born
So
through her writing.
I will let you know. Absolutely.
The
So
written word is powerful. It is.
I'm giving you your flowers yet while you live, because you deserve it.
Amen. That's right.
That's
Good man.
right.
Thank you
You went,
so
Do that,
much.
G. Do it, G.
you went from knowledge to Pluto. You went from knowledge to Pluto. That book, you went to knowledge to Pluto and back.
Yeah, man. You
Man,
straight to the solar facts, huh? You just figured you just go straight there, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
I think
encourage
so much.
everyone, please pick up your book. Absolutely.
I
Well,
thank you so much.
I'll be stopping by to get my autographed copy tomorrow sometime. So I didn't do the Amazon thing. I got cash. I bring cash.
Oh,
Okay.
brother, right there. Wow.
I thank
Street brother.
you so much for that.
Yes.
I truly appreciate you, because I use this time from COVID. Like I said, many times, so many people are complaining about COVID. But if you take a look at it, it's only a pause and for you to sit still. God gave us COVID as a restart button to sit down and reconfigure everything that went wrong to make it right. So I sat down and I got closer to God in that time, because I came to a point in my life that I have accomplished many things, but there's many things I got confused on. What should I be doing, Lord? What's my gift and what's my purpose? So as I sat to build with God, I allowed God to be my BFF. I didn't get on the phone to talk to people. I didn't look to the television or the radio. I shut myself down and sat with God and constantly prayed. And every time I prayed, He would tell me to speak. And every time I spoke, He would tell me to write. So I put it all together, and that's where the book came from. So you think you could pray, because so many times people think they're praying. No, we pray our response of what our parents or our relatives, our elders told us to do. And if we acted like we wasn't trying to pray, we would get reprimanded. So we didn't come to a place to say, okay, we're going to sit and pray to God. No, we were told this is what you must do. But as we're doing it, we're not looking for the connection to God. We're just doing what our elders told us to do. So as we go through turmoils and circumstances and our trials and tribulations of life, I know not just me, there's a place that someone stops and say, God, why me? But it's why not you? Why not you go through this trial? Why not you be tested? Why not you go through this situation? Why not you going through this war? Because at the end of the day, guess what? You still standing. Still standing. You can talk about it. That means you can teach somebody behind you of what you went through. You now have wisdom. You now have understanding. So I wrote that book because I didn't want people to think it was not okay, like y'all said, to cry, that it's not okay to have courage to express yourself. It's very much okay. If you don't express yourself and speak up for yourself and defend yourself, and honor yourself and be present in your emotions, then who are you? You just walking around like an imposter. What is that? So I believe in walking in my truth every single day. So that's where the book came from. Somebody could get blessed by my words. Like, that's all I want is to share knowledge, share wisdom. I wrote 4 books during COVID, and they are coming out one by one. I was invited to an anthology. There's 25 women. We told triumphant stories, and I'm one of them. That book is dropping on November 21st. So, we all go through experiences. I'm just so happy to speak upon it because I want people to know you are not alone. And it's okay to go through your emotions, but you gotta stand up. Just like y'all said, you can cry, but get over the cry. Wipe your tears and stand up and do not have a pity party. Get up and lead the way. So again, I thank y'all, and I thank God to give him the glory because he brought this platform for me to allow men to have a place to speak, because each one has to teach one, and people can see through the visuals sometimes better than they can read something. Because guess what? Some people just can't read. So see visual. No, seriously. Some people just
say announcement right there. Some people.
So if I can give a visual and they can see us and hear us, maybe we can open up a different lane where people can then begin to heal. So right. I thank God for giving me the Charge Room Ministry, that I can launch this platform for men and this platform for women to talk about it. So I got topics coming through, and we just want to all come through and heal together. So I just thank y'all, because y'all are a blessing, because God gave me y'all. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I thank all of you. Definitely is all love. So I appreciate you.
I'm mad. I'm mad because King Herman ain't sharing that doggone that Red Bull though. I'm mad.
Oh no, it ain't Red Bull, man. Just send me your address. I'll send y'all a case.
Sprite? Was that the black soda? Sprite?
No, it's a drink called Excess.
Excess.
My business.
I don't know if I'm on that. I can't do excess, brother.
Yeah, I had enough of excess in my life. I'm trying to be escalate. Yeah, we excess.
That's against the law, man. I can't do that, man.
Yeah, we sound good.
Okay, gentlemen. So I'm gonna close out now because our time is up, and we want to be valuable of everyone's time. Okay.
All right.
So thank you everyone for visiting us tonight in the men's locker room, where is another success with the men sharing from their heart and from their soul. So definitely we are closing out from their closing responses to say it takes courage, maturity, walking in your truth, having understanding, and to share wisdom to each and every one that is behind them. But not only that, to come to terms with their own, how great and wonderful they really are. So as a child, we may be presented a perspective, but as we walk through life, we begin to develop our own understanding through our own experiences. So don't ever be shy of what you were taught, because now as you mature, you have the understanding and the grace to become your greater you. So don't take for granted your bumps, bruises, your trials, or your tribulations. Tests will come. They will come. Embrace them. Take them, love yourself. Take them and build. Cry it out. Don't have a pity party. Pick yourself up and walk. So thank you again. My name is Ilyasah Simpson. I am your host tonight and every night in the Charge Room. So peace and blessings. And again, like our pages on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. I wish you a great night. Bye-bye.